now on WRDE Coast TV.
It's another day of intense heat for Delmarva with a heat advisory in effect. A couple of more days of this heat wave, then much needed relief coming. I'll track the heat on Futurecasts coming up.
If you're headed down to the beach today, you heard it from Bob. It's going to be a hot one. We have some tips for you on how you can stay cool.
Hot ocean water, the higher than normal temperatures we are dealing with in the Atlantic.
Debating weed, both sides of the issue, as Lewis considers becoming the latest coastal community to restrict marijuana sales.
Got to tell you about a machete attack. An Ellendale woman is facing charges after a man was cut with a big knife.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News Today. Your morning news starts right now.
Good morning. It is Friday, July 28th, 2023. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning. I'm Paige Marley.
And thank you for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour. Paige, did I mention it's Friday?
You can mention it again.
I'll mention it several times
Friday.
today.
Yes. It's also supposed to be maybe the hottest day of the week.
That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, but I asked Bob just a moment ago. He said maybe the hottest day of the year. So that's where we are. We'll send it over to First Alert meteorologist Bob Chahi on what's probably the hottest day of the year, Bob.
It's looking that way, guys. Good morning. And I think we could fall just shy of a record today, but it is going to be a scorcher. Heat advisory for all of our area from much of Delaware. Excessive heat warning down near Salisbury and parts of Maryland. Look at this. Only one place in the 70s. That's Greenwood at 79. The rest of us are into the low 80s. Pretty incredible. And we're talking about a feels like temperature at 5:02 on a Friday morning. Look at this. 90 is what it feels like in Millsboro, 85 in Georgetown, 87 in Selbyville. It is just a scorcher out there. Winds are out of the southwest. We're looking at mostly clear skies. Just a few clouds back to our west right now, but it's hot, high pressure building in as temperatures quickly rise this morning. Mid-morning already mid to upper 80s inland by noon. Low to mid-90s, a little cooler along the beaches at around 95 to 98 inland later on, and temperatures into the 80s and 90s along the coast. It's going to be a very hot evening. And look at these feels like temperatures through the afternoon and evening, 103 to 109. But there is a break coming. I'll tell you when that happens coming up in my full forecast in just a bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. We are going to go straight to the Coast TV newsroom and Coast TV News reporter Heidi Kirk. Heidi, the heat isn't going to stop some people from hitting the beach, and you have some advice on how they can stay cool.
Good morning, Matt and Paige and Bob. The heat sure did not stop those people yesterday. The beaches were packed, and I have to say I was down on the beach and the boardwalk, and I was drenched in sweat within minutes of being down there. It can be dangerous. Now, I want to give you some advice from Rehoboth Beach EMTs, who I've spoken with many times in the past and am set up to speak with later today in the most recent heat wave. They have some feedback for us. They say that heat exhaustion and heat stroke are two of the most common emergencies they see out on the beaches in the summer. They have a few tips for you as you head out. Like I said, first of all, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Make sure you're drinking water because that really is key here. And don't be afraid to take breaks and visit the shops up on the boardwalk. You can also wear things like looser fitting clothing to avoid overheating or lighter covers. And we also will have more from them coming up later on. Back to you.
Hey, HDK, EMT say it is key to keep sensitive areas of your body cool, like your neck and armpits.
Absolutely, that's really key here. If you take a wet towel, you can put it around your neck, you can dab your armpits, those sensitive areas. That's going to make you feel cool when you're out on the water, and it's easy to do. You just take a towel down there, dip it in the water, make sure you go to one of those water fountains. It really can be easy to do, and it can make a big difference. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Heidi. Well, you may have noticed some warmer waters while taking a dip in the ocean. Experts say the ocean is going through what it's called a marine heat wave. Marine heat waves can be caused by a number of things like ocean currents or El Nino. The ocean off the coast is currently around 7 degrees higher than it normally is, and experts say this is happening more often.
The current understanding is that over the past 100 years, which we kind of have relatively good data, you can see a trend of the number of marine heat waves is increasing, and the intensity of the marine heat waves is increasing.
And Dr. Leong says there is no clear timetable for when a marine heat wave could end. This does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what you do, where you go to stay cool.
All right, let's take a look at those updated results. This is from overnight. So far, most of you, hey, 82% saying you stay at home. That is exactly what I do. 12% saying you head to the pool. Great option. Really low numbers there for libraries, movies, stores, cooling centers. Interesting. Okay, well, hey, I can get behind that. Home, definitely. If you still haven't voted, you still can. Head to WRDE.com or our mobile app. We'll show you some updated results later on in our newscast. New this morning, President Joe Biden is blasting Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville for blocking military promotions over the Pentagon's new abortion policy. Biden says the senator is blocking those promotions of hundreds of military officials and hurting military readiness and morale. Tuberville opposes the Pentagon's new policy of paying for travel costs for service members who need to go out of state to have an abortion. He has said he'll end the blockade if the Senate is allowed to vote on that policy. But Biden says it's time for him to lift his blockade now.
New this morning, the Senate has passed their version of the National Defense Authorization Act. The bill passed Thursday night, 86-11. The massive yearly defense policy bill contains a laundry list of bipartisan military priorities. The Senate will now have to work with the House on a compromise bill. The Senate bill does not contain some of the partisan provisions included in the House version, specifically a provision to rescind the Department of Defense's abortion travel policy.
An Ellendale woman has been arrested after police say she cut a man with a machete. Delaware State Police say 26-year-old Breonna Diedrich cut a 29-year-old man from Millsboro, Delaware with that machete. Troopers say the man was bleeding from his arm and was able to get away and call 911. According to the agency, the man did not request any medical treatment, and Diedrich faces charges including assault, possession of a deadly weapon, and terroristic threatening. Police say she's been committed to Sussex Correctional Institution on over $30,000 cash bond.
Yeah, we're checking out the scene in Lewis this Friday morning. This is the 5 Points intersection where Coastal Highway meets with Route 9. Not much activity now, expecting a lot more as the day moves along with people heading to the beach. East of this page is the city limits of Lewis.
That's right, and that's where the city's joining the conversation about banning marijuana sales in town. Yesterday, the mayor and the city council workshop. The public had the opportunity to share their opinions. Some officials pointing out that while the state gets tax revenue off of sales, the town doesn't. Many in attendance said that selling in the town is not necessary. Lewis Historical Society volunteer Barry Buchanan says selling marijuana could ruin Lewis's age-old charm.
Lewis is such a small town. I think it would be very detrimental. I've interviewed and worked with a lot of the tourists from 5 states in any direction, and they come here for the enjoyment of this small town, and they like to walk down the 2nd Street just like it is. The marijuana should be near the beach towns, in my personal opinion. I do not believe it's a good idea to allow it in Lewis.
Lewis Mayor and City Council will next meet on August 7th.
We've got a new development to tell you about in the case of classified documents found at former President Donald Trump's Florida estate. The former president now faces new charges after the special counsel filed a superseding indictment Thursday that also added a 3rd defendant in the case.
NBC's Bree Jackson shows us what could happen with the new charges he now faces.
The federal indictment alleges that former President Trump was part of a scheme to delete security video and obstruct the investigation into classified documents stored at his Florida estate.
I think this is just really powerful evidence that makes that obstruction of justice scheme really, it seems to me, very difficult to defend against.
2 Trump associates also face charges. His aide, Walt Nauta, and Carlos de Oliveira, a maintenance supervisor at Mar-a-Lago. The indictment states de Oliveira told another employee that the boss wanted the server deleted.
The only way that indictment is as detailed in recounting those interactions is if a party to those communications is cooperating.
Despite the charges against him, Trump remains the GOP frontrunner in the 2024 presidential race.
To me, it's a reflection that he represented many in this country that were upset with this place.
I don't think those who are digging up charges to file understand how they are hurting their own credibility.
Trump is bracing for a possible 3rd indictment for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And Trump has pleaded not guilty in the classified documents case against him. A trial for that has been set for May.
We still have plenty more news to get to this morning on Coast TV News Today.
Now, coming up, a lawsuit over skip lagging. What is skip lagging and why American Airlines wants to put an end to it?
Also, more space for houses, how a potential code change could bring more housing to Lewis.
And this year's Pony Swim festivities are coming to an end. The final celebration taking place later this morning. That and more on Coast TV News Today continues.
Monday at 4 on Coast Life, embark on a sailing journey with the Rehoboth Bay Sailing Association. Savor the freshest sandwiches at Primo Hoagies in Ocean City. And meet X Squad enjoying their summer. Coast Life, Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
I traveled through time to change history for the better.
We can't find him.
Everything's changed.
Where are you, Ben?
Welcome to the ride home on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. First rule of the ride home, we definitely talk about the ride home. In fact, tell all your friends. Second rule of the ride home, we have fun. Top 10 Tuesday, Would You Rather Wednesday, and every day you pick the songs on the high five. And the third rule of the ride home, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You've got enough to stress about. So let me handle the ride home. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
This show is here. Everybody put your hands together. I gotta talk to you now.
I left work to come.
You left work? They gonna see you. He's with me today. We're lighting up daytime, baby.
And you're going to bless people every single day.
We're giving back, lifting each other up. Something hits you in your heart. We're doing it all. Yeah! Mama Hood. Coming to the rescue.
Weekdays at 2 on WRDE.
Never miss a game for your favorite local team. Take the DSN app with you wherever you go. Whether you're out to eat, camping with friends, or at home relaxing with your family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV. Download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
It is 5:12 on this very warm Friday morning. Tyndall's Health Casual Furniture Cam, I should say. 80 degrees in Laurel right now. We've got mostly clear skies. Heat advisory across Delaware today. Excessive heat warning. Salisbury and a good chunk of Maryland. And look at these temperatures, 70s and lower 80s, just unbelievably warm. And those feels like temperatures into the mid to upper 80s. So pretty incredible. And later today, the feels like temperatures around 105 to 109. Don't need the umbrella. Find a cool spot in the heat. Stay hydrated with water. Heidi went over a lot of these tips earlier. Wear the light colored clothing. Make sure you have your shades and that higher SPF sunscreen as well.
Ponies have had their fun at the 98th Chincoteague Pony Swim event, but now it's time to go home. The Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company says that the pony parade will be reversed today. Fire Company expects the swim to take place between noon and 12:30 p.m. and the reverse parade will feature the South Herd adults. The North Herd was trailed back after the auction.
Anheuser-Busch says it's laying off U.S. corporate staff. This in the wake of the Bud Light controversy. Says this move affects 2% of its total workforce, so about 380 employees. Frontline workers like warehouse staff and drivers are not losing their jobs, just corporate employees. Bud Light sales are struggling after almost 2 decades as the top-selling beer in the U.S. The brand is getting anti-transgender backlash over influencer Dylan Mulvaney's promotion of that beer. Anheuser-Busch is also under fire from LGBTQ advocates for its tepid response to that controversy. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued warning letters to several e-cigarette distributors. The agency is accusing them of selling and distributing unauthorized products that appeal to minors. ABS Distribution, EC Supply, and Easy Wholesale all received letters of notice from the FDA regulators. They allege the companies distributed products that do not have marketing authorization in violation of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. The distributors have 15 days to respond. New tobacco products must receive marketing authorization from the FDA before they can be sold.
Had less green space in Lewis and more space for more houses. One is being recommended to the mayor and city council for a potential code change.
And even the normally cooler coast is warm this morning, 82 in Ocean City. Intense heat. It continues for 2 more days. Then we finally get some relief with the cold front on Sunday. And beyond that, it looks nice as well. I'll track the temperatures on FeatureCast coming up after the break.
Living a good life means being healthy. But what does it mean to be healthy and stay healthy? It means getting the right kind of care. Right here. And convenient. It means having the right hospital to coordinate the delivery of health care for the entire community. Atlantic General Hospital. We'll put you on the right path to good health. And keep you there.
It was an older porch with concrete. There were stains on the floor. My wife, who researches everything, decided to look at Pinnacle Concrete Coatings. They explained the entire process, and it was right on track. They got it done in a day, and things were bright and clean, and everybody seemed to appreciate it all that much more. The quality is high-end, and the lifetime warranty can't be beat. I would more than say yes, you ought to recommend them. They were right on time. They explained it clearly. They worked with our schedule. They got it done, and it is perfect.
Delmarva Home Show. Explore the hidden house gems here on the peninsula. Exciting tours of stunning homes, charming cottages, and luxurious beachfront properties. Designer ideas and insider tips to help inspire your home decor. Discover the best of Delmarva's architecture and interior design. A showcase of the most unique and beautiful homes on Delmarva. Start your tour Sunday mornings at 11:30 on WBOC. Experience the thrill of the race with Post Time with Heather Vitale, only on the Delmarva Sports Network. From the energetic sprints at Ocean Downs to the heart-racing action at Bally's Dover, all the way to the vibrant atmosphere of Harrington Raceway, we bring you the true pulse of harness racing. Sunday mornings at 8 and 11:30 on DSN, DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com, or on the DSN app. Post Time on Delmarva Sports Network.
You're watching WRDE Coast TV, Delmarva's NBC station.
It is 5:17 this morning. That's a live look there at Ocean City on our Hershey Exteriors cam. Water's moving pretty quick today there in Ocean City. Looks a little cloudy as well, but we know it's hot.
It'll be hot, and that's your favorite shot, Paige. No break from that heat.
They're all my favorite.
I know. Got no break from the heat in the early morning hours today. Wow, it hits you when you walk out the door.
Yeah, and no relief even at night. Unbelievable. We're all pretty much in the low 80s right now. We're talking heat index values at 5:18 in the morning. Pretty incredible as we're seeing the hottest stretch of weather the last few days into this weekend. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. Average high this time of year is 88, and I'm expecting 97 today, 96 on Saturday. And then the heat wave is over. We've got a cold front coming on Sunday, 85. And look at that, mid-80s, even lower 80s by Tuesday. That is going to be nice. But in the meantime, we're dealing with the heat advisory all across Delaware. It's to parts of Maryland, even an excessive heat warning on it to Salisbury. And near record heat today, I'm expecting a high of 97. The record is 99 from back in 1949. So I think we'll be close to that, but not quite a record high. But look at these temperatures right now into the lower 80s. The exception is 79 in Greenwood right now. And we're talking feels like temperatures. It feels like mid to upper 80s this early in the morning. Pretty incredible as we have a southwest wind right now. At least we have a breeze, but it is a hot breeze. And we're looking at a few clouds out there, otherwise mostly clear skies. We've got high pressure building in, some clouds back to the west. Otherwise, that's going to be it. And we're looking at FeatureCast with these increasing temperatures. By noon, 91 Ellendale, 92 Seaford, 81 in Dewey Beach, and then by 3:30, 96 in Millsboro. This is when you want to be inside. 95 at Georgetown, 80s and 90s even along the beaches. And it's going to be a hot evening if you're out and about on your Friday evening. And Saturday morning is a pretty mild start to warm, upper 70s and low 80s. But a little cooler perhaps on Saturday with some clouds and 90s. I think some mid-90s out there as we go into the afternoon hours. Some clouds Sunday night as a cold front comes through. And look at this, by 2:30 on Sunday, Some relief. We're looking at low to mid 80s, inland 70s along the beaches mid-afternoon. How nice will that be? But we've got some hot air to get through, and we're looking at humid to very humid conditions the next couple of days, and then it becomes more tolerable into the early part of next week. But heat indices today around 105 to 109. A little better tomorrow, close to 100, and even better on Sunday with temperatures feeling like mid to upper 80s. But 97 today. Your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 96 Saturday. 30% chance of storms, 85 on Sunday with a few more storms, and then cooler as we go into next week with lower humidity. We have an umbrella winner today. It is Laura Scazzaro from Dagsboro. Congratulations, Laura, on your brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
All right, thanks, Bob. A reminder, you can hear Coast TV news and weather updates throughout the day on our family of radio stations, Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 FM. 93.5 The Beach, and on Big 107.7.
A recommended code change would reduce green space in one manufactured home community, paving the way for a lot more houses. Recommendations to mayor and city council would reduce green space to 3/4 of an acre per parcel. This applies to places like the Donovan Smith manufactured home community. President of the community's HOA, Sam Saunders, says that the lack of green space is not worth the rooms for more homes.
To me, this is how slums and ghettos start, by forcing people to live closer together and in inhumane conditions.
And work on the community's water and sewer pipelines is expected to continue next at the main entrance next week.
After the break, American Airlines going after one website for its cost-effective travel hack. What the airline says the website doesn't even have permission to do.
Fun events that are sure to be the grand finale to your July. I'm Mallory Metzner. Coming up, I'll show you all the cool things to do this weekend.
Your dirty vents may be telling you something. Pounds of dirt, dust, and contaminants are trapped in your air ducts. That's why you need a professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer. We've been cleaning air ducts the right way for over 25 years. Our NADCA certified technicians and powerful equipment clean your entire system, extracting the dirt into our trucks, removing it from your home completely. For better indoor air quality and improved HVAC efficiency,
call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Arrive in style with a new Mercedes-Benz SUV from IG Burton Mercedes-Benz. Right now, you can have the style and versatility of the new GLC for just $659 per month. IG Burton Mercedes-Benz in Melford. Shop us online now at igburton.com.
Prepare for a seismic showdown as the East's most formidable travel softball teams storm the Eastern Shore, each battling to seize the esteemed title, the best of the best. Delmarva Sports Network puts you right in the heart of the action, delivering every electrifying swing, slide, and steal. Download the DSN app, stream USSSA games live, plus delve into our extensive archive of past and current games. Delmarva Sports Network, local teams, big dreams. The men and women working hard to make sure the games are fair. The unsung heroes of all sports. Thank you to all of the officials on Delmarva. Thank you for your positive impact on young athletes. Your service does not go unnoticed. If you're interested in becoming a sports official on Delmarva, go to delmarvasportsnetwork.com/officials for more information.
Jay Leno and Kevin Eubanks.
But I'll tell you what, Kevin's going to give you $100, right, Ken?
Bring their own twist to a TV classic.
Let's play You Bet Your Life!
If I come home broke, my wife gonna kill me.
It's all fun and games.
Weekdays at 11:30 on WRDE Coast TV.
We're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
Arrive in style with a new Mercedes-Benz SUV from IG Burton Mercedes-Benz. Right now, you can have the style and versatility of the new GLC for just $659 per month. IG Burton Mercedes-Benz in Melford. Shop us online now at igburton.com.
Delaware State Police say they've arrested 41-year-old Roger Wilson from Laurel and 32-year-old Jaquan Adkins from Millsboro for a series of thefts from cars and trucks in Seaford. On June 7th, police say 3 separate people discovered money, credit cards, and other items stolen from their unlocked cars overnight. According to police, one of those stolen credit cards was used at the Seaford Lowe's, and police say surveillance footage from that Lowe's allowed them to identify that pair.
So there we had a Laurel man stealing in Seaford. Other way around in this situation. Delaware State Police say they have arrested 18-year-old Ryan Howell from Seaford for a series of thefts and burglaries in Laurel. Troopers say they were sent to Chipman's Chase Drive and Fire Tower Road overnight for thefts from cars and garages early in the morning on July 13th. And they say Howell was identified through an investigation as a suspect. Police say Howell turned himself in on Tuesday.
Here's a term that most savvy airline travelers may have heard before: skip lagging. Now, I travel a lot, but I've actually never heard this. It's when you book a flight with a layover at your intended destination, but then you skip the second leg of your flight. People do this because sometimes it's actually cheaper to book the longer flight than it is to just book a direct flight to your destination. But now American Airlines is suing travel website Kiwi over the cost-saving hack. Americans say Kiwi is no longer authorized to sell its tickets, but continues to do so thanks to a workaround. Kiwi has not responded yet to those accusations.
Well, in case you didn't know, Paige, weekend's here.
Yeah, it is.
Busy beaches. They're about to get busier as we get the Friday crowd heading to the coast, Bob.
Absolutely. Those beaches will be abuzz today, as it will be very, very warm to hot. Ocean City close to 90, and we're looking at Fenwick Island in the low 90s. Our rip current risk is low. UV index is high, and the waves are up a little bit at 2 to 4 feet, so be careful out there. Lewis topping out in the low 90s later today, and Rehoboth, you're the hot spot. Upper 80s around noon, and then 93 by 5 o'clock. We've got 2 more days of this intense heat, and then a cool down with a cold front by Sunday. More on your forecast coming up.
All right, well, July will go out with a bang at events across Delmarva.
Coast TV News reporter Mallory Metzner shows us the cool things to do that are sure to be the grand finale to finishing out this month.
It's the final weekend of July, and that means an annual fair and carnival are both wrapping up, but other summer events are getting underway this weekend. It's watermelon season. Wright's Market in Mardella Springs is hosting its 21st Watermelon Festival on Saturday, with food, games, music, fire truck rides, and more. The Delmarva Lake Great Chevys is hosting a car show from 11 to 3 at this event to give back to local charities. All makes and models are welcome. See the remains of the shipwrecked DeBrock that sunk off the coast of Lewis in 1798. The Zwannendale Museum is holding a lecture at 4 p.m. called Lost Off Lewis. The museum says it explains the history of the DeBrock, its sinking, and discovery almost 200 years later. Learn about grasses you don't need to mow at the Inland Bays Garden Center in Frankfort. A class from 10 to 12 Saturday will explain different native plant options. The Tanger Outlets is having a block party to offer back-to-school shopping and some summer break fun with over 50 vendors selling handmade crafts, food trucks, ice cream, games, and more. It runs 11 to 3 Saturday. And Saturday is closing day at the Delaware State Fair. That's one last chance to see the Delaware-grown cooking demonstration at 2 p.m. Ride the rides, visit the animals, and get your favorite fair foods. The last parade for the 2023 fair starts at 7. Tyler Hubbard performs at 7:30, and fireworks launch at 10. Fireworks also launch at 10 p.m. for the last night of the Chincoteague Volunteer Firemen's Carnival. A holistic wellness expo will illuminate the convention center in Ocean City on Saturday and the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday. It's free to enter and see the handmade jewelry, spa products, crystals, and more. For event registration pages and even more cool things to do this weekend, go to our website and click on the Cool Things to Do tab.
Brought to you by North Bay Marina, where boaters have the most fun.
All right, ready for this?
Everyone is invited.
Fill your week with Wheel. It's Sweethearts Week, Veterans Week.
It's Teachers Week.
Fabulous Food Week.
Days packed with fun.
Yeah. Hawaii Week, Teen Week.
Margaritaville.
Restock the margarita bar. Maggie, it's Collage Week.
It's College Week.
It's going to be a big week for everybody.
Weeknights at 7 on WRDE.
Calling all local businesses. This fall, it's time to shine at Draper Media's Shore Living Expo, a free event for visitors. Join us Saturday, September 30th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. Presented by Spicer Brothers and Pohanka of Salisbury. Extend your reach, showcase your products, and build relationships that matter. The Shore Living Expo, where you can shine as we celebrate health, wealth, and home. Sign up to be a vendor today. Visit WBOCevents.com.
Summertime. Summertime. No, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. When I met you in the summer. He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. Can't read my, no, we can't read my poker face.
Sunkissed Summer Mixtape on 102.5 WBOC.
Brought to you by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
From the beaches to the bay, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News Today. Your morning news starts right now.
It's July 28th, 2023. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
5:31 a.m. on the final Friday of July. Wow.
Do we say this every month? But July flew by.
I really did, yeah.
It really did.
We had Independence Day, and now here we are.
All right, August is coming up. First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey joins us now to help you prepare on the last weekend of July.
Yeah, summer's flying by, guys, isn't it? Yeah, it's hot, too. Climatologically speaking, this is the hottest time of the year, and it's plenty hot. Heat advisory across Delaware and a good chunk of Maryland. Excessive heat warnings around Salisbury. Your heat indices a little higher today. And look at the temperatures right now at 5:32 in the morning. Upper 70s and low 80s out the door. The feels like temperature into the 80s, even close to 90 degrees. So pretty incredible. A bit of a southwest breeze continues to bring in all that heat as we are looking at mostly clear skies right now. And we're looking quiet with high pressure building in. Here's Futurecast through the morning. Mid-80s inland, 80s along the beaches as well. By noon, already a lot of us into the 90s and around 94 to 98 inland today, and even 90s along the coast. And out and about this evening, boy, you really want to be careful. It will be hot, and that feels like temperature around 105 to 109. Here's your Drivecast. Green light out the door, warm and muggy, and a green light coming home too. Very hot and humid.
Straight to Coast TV news reporter Heidi Kirk, who is in the newsroom. Heidi, even this early in the morning, Coastal Highway gets busy with beach traffic, and you got some tips on how those beachgoers can stay cool.
Matt and Paige and Bob, I've got to say, I was on the boardwalk for probably 2 minutes yesterday, and I was absolutely drenched in sweat. I understand what you're saying, Bob. It is dangerous out there. And that's exactly why I have some tips from Rehoboth Beach EMTs when you're headed out to the beach today. They say heat exhaustion and heat stroke are two of the most common emergencies they see out on the beaches in the summer. So don't let that be you. They have some tips for you. First of all, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Make sure you have multiple water bottles. And if you don't bring one, make sure you buy one because that is key here. And don't be afraid to take breaks from the beach. Visit the shops up on the boardwalk, go get some air conditioning. We spoke with many people down on the beach and the boardwalk yesterday. And I had one piece of advice that was given to me from someone we spoke with, and I really appreciated that.
If anything, you just take a wet towel and put it around your shoulders. Wipe off a little bit. And, then you get the wet bulb effect, okay? So you always get cooler. Anytime you're near the water, you can get cool.
Matt and Paige, it's funny because when I was talking to Rehoboth Beach EMTs, they actually gave me that piece of advice. So he truly is onto something. You can always put that wet towel around your neck, dab your armpits, any of those sensitive areas, and that's going to help you out. Back to you.
Yeah, and Heidi, Rehoboth Beach Patrol says checking in on your group, that can be crucial on days like today.
Well, Matt and Paige, when I go down to the beach, I'm normally going on my own because I'm off during the day when lots of other people are working. But if you're there with a group, it's really crucial to make sure that you're checking on the people that you're with, making sure that everyone's hydrating, putting on sunscreen, dipping into the water when they need to, because that really can make a big difference if you're in a group, and making sure that everyone's okay in these periods of extreme heat. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Heidi. Now, while Paris is the focus of the host city of the 2024 Summer Olympics, another French town was celebrated locally yesterday. Bethany Beach highlighted its unity with a small town in Normandy.
Coast TV's Carmen Holland shows us how the bond between the town is c'est bon. I hope I said that.
From one small town to another, Bethany Beach in Perrier, France.
Back in 2010, the towns of Perrier, France and Bethany Beach arranged to be sister cities with each other.
It's Perrier Day in Bethany Beach, and Diana Hamilton-Cow says it all started with her father, who led a battalion that helped liberate Perrier from the German rule.
Friendship between peoples, that is the wonderful result of a horrible war that has grown up from the relationships, and I just think it's wonderful for everyone who's been involved in it.
Today, there was a brief speech on the history of the connection between the two sister towns, including the French national anthem on the accordion, followed by a band playing tunes into the night. And the accordion player himself has a special connection to all things French.
I love French culture. I love French food. I do play some French cafe music.
And while the acts of the United States during World War II might have sparked this bond to be formed, some say it's a connection that's more than just that of allies.
I think there's a lot of visitors who don't realize, but I think more and more people from Bethany have become aware because it's been celebrated every year. It's just one of many different celebrations we have here.
This connection that we have with Perrier, we celebrate it one day a year, but it lasts all year long.
By the way, next year the Summer Olympics in Paris are on NBC. You can watch them right here on Coast TV from July 26th to August 11th. In Bethany Beach, I'm Carmen Holland, Coast TV News.
All right, thanks, Carmen. And as you said, the Paris Olympics do run next year, July 26th through August 11th. That's 2024.
New this morning, President Joe Biden is blasting Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville for blocking military promotions over the Pentagon's new abortion policy. Biden says the senator is blocking the promotions of hundreds of military officials and hurting military readiness and morale. Tuberville opposes the Pentagon's new policy of paying for travel costs for service members who need to go out of state to have an abortion. He has said he will end the blockade if the Senate is allowed to vote on the policy. But Biden says it's time for Tuberville to lift his blockade now.
Well, new this morning, the Senate has passed their version of the National Defense Authorization Act. The bill passed Thursday night, 86-11. This is the massive yearly defense policy bill. It contains a laundry list of bipartisan military priorities. The Senate will now have to work with the House on a compromise bill. Senate bill does not contain some of those partisan provisions included in the House version. Specifically, there was a provision to rescind the Department of Defense's abortion travel policy.
An Ellendale woman has been arrested after police say she cut a man with a machete. Delaware State Police say 26-year-old Brianna Diedrich cut a 29-year-old man from Millsboro, Delaware with that machete. Troopers say the man was bleeding from his arm and was able to get away and call 911. According to the agency, that man did not request medical treatment. Diedrich faces charges including assault, possessing a deadly weapon, and terroristic threatening. Police say she's been committed to Sussex Correctional Institution on over $30,000 of cash bond.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Still ahead this morning, SpaceX launching more satellites. Why this may only be the beginning for the engineering company. Also ahead, yesterday, the Seaford Board of Education approved a new athletic director. How his involvement in sports has prepared him for that role.
And pay raises are about to take off for TSA workers. What makes the monumental salary increase so important? Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Monday at 4 on Coast Life, embark on a sailing journey with the Rehoboth Bay Sailing Association. Savor the freshest sandwiches at Primo Hoagies in Ocean City. And meet X Squad enjoying their summer. Coast Life, Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
For weather coverage you can count on, get the WRDE weather app with live radar and severe weather alerts, plus a 10-day forecast. Download the free WRDE weather app, built by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
This is MJ Laughlin with IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Melford, Smyrna, Newark, and Berlin. It's the summer sales spectacular happening at all IG Burton locations. Save thousands on all Ram 1500 trucks, perfect for all your summer adventures, including the 2023 Jeep Wrangler 4xe. Just $439 per month for 36 months with only $1,000 down. We also have low APR financing on most models in stock, including the rugged Jeep Wrangler and the luxurious Grand Cherokee. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Appointment out of space?
Yes, next July.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I can't change these plans.
We're stealing in the sun next summer. Heist of a lifetime.
The Olympics.
Come on, you in?
Roman Reigns will defend his title against anyone, anytime. Except next July.
First Alert Weather is our promise to be the first to tell you when big changes are coming in your weather forecast.
Whether it's day-to-day weather that changes your plans,
or severe weather that could change your life.
The First Alert Weather team will call for First Alert Weather Days.
Here on TV and all of your devices.
It's our commitment to give you the most accurate forecast.
The WRDE First Alert Weather team. That's our promise to you.
It is 5:41 on this very, very warm Friday morning. Heat advisory all across Delaware. Excessive heat warnings around Salisbury and then farther to the west as well. So we are stuck in the heat for sure. And we're beginning with temperatures into the 70s and lower 80s. And the feels like temperature, boy, 85 in Georgetown, 89 in Millsboro, 85 in Milton. It is going to be a scorcher. Actual temperatures later today, mid to upper 90s, and those feels like temperatures 105 to around 110. So if you're headed to the fair, really be careful out there. Find a nice shady spot when you can. 88 at 10, 97 at 3, and 91 at 7 p.m.
Transportation Security Administration workers at America's airports, they are getting a pay increase, and it is the largest pay increase for the TSA workforce since it was established in 2001. The funding is expected to increase the salaries at TSA by 30% on average, depending on factors like specific position and length of service. Biden administration officials call the pay increase long overdue.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
What's going on, sports fans? A ton is changing around the high school sports realm, but one thing has been a constant, and that is Seaford boys head basketball coach Vince Evans. He was a basketball state champion at Seaford in 1997, has led the boys basketball team as a coach to 3 Southern Division titles, a Henlopen Conference championship, and to the Final Four of the DIAA state tournament. He was named the 2023-2024 Educational Support Person of the Year for the district and was named the DIBCA Coach of the Year in 2021. And if those aren't enough accolades, he is now the athletic director of Seaford High School. After Mark Quillen said his goodbyes to Seaford as their AD, Vince Evans is now taking over. We will talk to Coach Evans tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned into Delmarva Sports Network to see what he will do at charge as AD. Congratulations to Coach and now Athletic Director Vince Evans. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everybody.
An iconic 80s film and a historic 60s comeback, both in theaters this weekend. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
You a Heather?
No, I'm a Veronica. I don't really like my friends.
I don't really like your friends either.
Heathers is back for its 35th anniversary. The killer comedy starring Winona Ryder and Christian Slater returns to theaters on Sunday at 4 p.m. local time. Locations and more info at fathomevents.com.
By the late 1960s, Elvis had become irrelevant.
TV director Steve Binder remembers helping resurrect Elvis Presley's career in the documentary Reinventing Elvis, the '68 Comeback, in theaters Sunday only. Info and tickets at reinventingelvis.com.
This is Crowley. He and I go back a long time.
Tom,
It's the day Good Omens fans have been praying for. Season 2 of the fantasy comedy series starring Michael Sheen and David Tennant is finally here.
It's been a while. We've made people wait for this. It's been 4 years since Series 1 came out. So if there's expectation, it's been ramped up.
The 6-episode season premieres today on Prime Video. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Still to come, SpaceX sending more satellites into orbit this morning. What more projects the company says it plans to start in the future.
And an extremely warm Friday morning. Here's our dry tech cam. 82 in Ocean City, and it's going to be another scorcher for today and tomorrow. But cooling down beginning Sunday. I'll track the temperatures on Futurecast after the break.
The Buying Center. We're here to buy your car or truck. Get an offer in minutes and get paid the same day. It's fast, it's easy, and you can get paid the same day. Call the Buying Center now at 302-381-2674.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, coverage you can count on.
Welcome to the ride home on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. First rule of the ride home, we definitely talk about the ride home. In fact, tell all your friends. Second rule of the ride home, we have fun. Top 10 Tuesday, Would You Rather Wednesday, and every day, you pick the songs on the high five. And the third rule of the ride home, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You've got enough to stress about. So let me handle the ride home, weekdays from 3 to 7 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
Join Clothing Our Kids and TCC Millsboro for the 12th annual Back to School Bash on July 30th at 1 p.m. Free backpacks, school supplies, snacks for K through 12 students. Visit tccrocks.com for more info.
Do you have one of these? Let us turn it into this. It's not magic. It's the Car Store's Buying Center. We make it easy and it's hassle-free. Call today or visit yourbuyingcenter.com.
All right, we know it's hot. The big question, Bob, is it too hot? Too hot in the hot tub?
I think so.
Is that Eddie Murphy from
yeah.
SNL? It is. No, it's not too hot. You know, I don't think it's too bad if it only lasts a few days. And it is the hottest time of the year, so I think we could deal with it, especially knowing that we have a cool down coming. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. 97 is what I'm expecting today. Could be the hottest day of the summer. 96 on Saturday. Then we get the relief that we're all going to be wanting by Sunday. 85, 84 Monday, 83 on Tuesday. And with that, we're looking at lower humidity. First things first, we have a heat advisory for Delaware back into Ocean City. Excessive heat warning into Salisbury, where your heat advisory will be, well, up to maybe 110. I'm expecting near record heat today. 97 the expected high. 99 is the record at Georgetown back in 1949. So we'll be close to that. We're already getting a good start on those high temperatures. Upper 70s and low 80s right now. We're talking feels like temperatures this early in the morning. Incredible. Mid to upper 80s. We've got a southwest breeze, so at least we have a breeze. And we have a few clouds out there right now. Here's the bigger view. We have high pressure back to the west. A couple of little troughs here and there, but otherwise we're in good shape today. It's just going to be a hot day. At noon, we're looking at 93 in Millsboro, 91 in Georgetown, even 90s along the beaches, 96 in Millsboro, 95 in Georgetown later on, maybe around 98 in Selbyville. Very hot this evening. Even take it slow when the sun goes down. It'll continue to be warm and muggy, and then Saturday starting in the 70s and 80s. More clouds, maybe a spot shower or storm, and I still think we're going to be into the 90s, well into into the 90s for a lot of us. Then we see a cold front on Sunday, and it's going to be much better by Sunday afternoon, into the mid-80s with much lower humidity, and it's going to be lasting for a few days. Here's our muggy meter, very humid into the weekend, and then we do start to dry it out a little bit as we go into early next week. So instead of very humid to miserable, we're more in that muggy, maybe even comfy range at a couple of instances, but no comfy range today. At 4 o'clock, feeling like around 105 to 109, and then moving into Saturday, maybe a little better. Feels like temperatures below triple-digit values, and then on Sunday, much better with mid to upper 80s. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast. We've got the hot 90s into Saturday with a few spotty storms Saturday and Sunday. There's a cool down on Sunday, 85, and then we're looking great Monday through Thursday, low to mid 80s, lower humidity, and staying dry as well.
All right, thanks, Bob. SpaceX launched another batch of Starlink satellites into orbit this morning. Falcon 9 rocket topped with 22 satellites lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Station in Florida. This was just after midnight. The number of Starlink satellites currently in orbit, just over 4,500. The company has approval to deploy 12,000 Starlink satellites and has applied for permission to loft another 30,000.
After the break, a new way to lower your bad cholesterol without using statins, the new alternative helping people live healthier lives.
And the heat wave continues for a couple of more days. Then we get some much needed relief beginning Sunday. I'll have the 10-day extended forecast coming up after the break.
Discover a hidden gem in Laurel, Daylilies at Gray House. Tucked behind the Gray House, you'll uncover our store where you'll find a wide variety of one-of-a-kind handcrafted items, perfect for gifting or to decorate your house. Buzz in this summer and discover a vast nautical collection from handcrafted crabs, tulips, and more summer-themed decorations with a fully blossomed daylily garden. Our collection caters to a diverse range of styles. Daylilies at Gray House, where hidden gems await.
Pinnacle team was awesome. I was impressed how that was. I mean, the big machines they had.
The floor looks great. It's brighter. It brightens up the room a lot. It's, the grit in the floor helps with us responding to the, getting to our lockers. Usually we come running through here and everything like that. The Pinnacle team was really great. They were professional. They were, very honest. They wanted to get us done, and they got us done on time. Pinnacle was amazing, and we absolutely love the floor.
Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
Solo Cup Saturday night. It's an alternative country party with me, Jared. Saturdays at 7 on Coast Country, 103.9 and 106.3.
This show is here. Everybody put your hands together. I gotta talk to you now.
I left work to come.
You left work? They gonna see you. He's with me today. We're lighting up daytime, baby.
And you're going to bless people every single day.
We're giving back, lifting each other up.
Something hits you in your heart.
We're doing it all. Yeah! Mama Hood, coming to the rescue.
Weekdays at 2 on WRDE.
Calling all local businesses. This fall, it's time to shine at Draper Media's Shore Living Expo, a free event for visitors. Join us Saturday, September 30th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center, presented by Spicer Brothers and Pohanka of Salisbury. Extend your reach, showcase your products, and build relationships that matter. The Shore Living Expo, where you can shine as we celebrate health, wealth, and home. Sign up to be a vendor today. Visit WBOCevents.com.
According to the CDC, about 2 in every 5 Americans struggle with high cholesterol, and if left untreated, it could lead to heart disease or stroke. Statins are usually the gold standard for treating high cholesterol, but about 15% of patients have statin intolerance.
Now, a team of researchers at the Cleveland Clinic are looking at a trial to get an alternative to statins. Marty Salt has those details.
Stroke and heart disease are 2 leading causes of death in the U.S. Both conditions could be a result from a common American health issue, high cholesterol. Statins play a pivotal role in lowering LDL levels, or bad cholesterol, in the body. But
there are some people, probably about 10 to 15% of the population, that just don't tolerate statins.
Cleveland Clinic cardiologist Stephen Nissen is evaluating a statin alternative in a trial called Clear Outcomes.
Bempedoic acid does lower cholesterol. It's a bit less effective, but it can be combined with another drug known as ezetimibe. And the two together can lower the bad cholesterol.
At the end of the trial, researchers found there was a 13% reduction of a cardiovascular death, heart attack, and stroke in the patients who received the statin alternative.
Those people who can't tolerate statins are good candidates to be treated with bempedoic acid.
I'm Marty Salt reporting.
There are a few risks associated with the alternative, including a 1% increase in the risk of gout and an increased risk of gallstones.
It is 5:54 this morning. It's time to check in with our coastal pet of the day, brought to you by Maggie's Pet Boutique.
All right, and today's final pets of the week coming from the Grassroots Rescue in Milton are Rose and Duchess. Rose is a 2-year-old terrier, Duchess a 2-year-old Akita. Both are a little shy at first, but we are here. They will quickly warm up to their new loving foster family, and we're happy to report that Grassroots Rescue posted on their Facebook page that they found foster families for 61 dogs. Last week, only 2 dogs had found their forever home.
What? That's so exciting. Congratulations. We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, so send us some adorable photos and tell us what makes them so special. Take a look at your screen.
Right, you can email us at content@WRDE.com, then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. Also, coming up this Sunday, just a couple days from now, on our Facebook page, if you look there, you'll see the pets we are featuring for next week.
It is 5:55 now. Time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out your door.
Yeah, if you're walking out the door soon, get ready to feel that heat.
Yeah, even no relief from the heat through the overnight hours as we're stuck in the low 80s, feeling much warmer than that with the humidity. Our day part forecast is a scorcher beginning in the 80s, and then we're in the 90s beginning at 11 a.m. Mid-90s this afternoon. I'm thinking around 96 or 97. And with that humidity, it is going to be rough. We're looking at those heat index values around 105 to maybe 109, perhaps 110 in some places later today. So we can't stress enough to take care in this intense heat. Your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 97 today, 96 on Saturday. That is the last day of the heat wave with a few storms on Sunday, 85, and then we dry it out for a few days next week and it cools off low to mid 80s and maybe more showers and storms by the end of next week into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Bob. Coming up in our next hour, we continue our coverage of this heat wave, including concern over a rise in ocean temperature off our coast.
And it's hot out there. We want to give you some tips as you head out to the beach this weekend.